She was told she was going to be deported. Her immigration attorneys warned she would die within days. She is only 4 years old and now swept up in the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. For nearly 2 years, this little girl, identified only by her pseudonym Sophia, has been receiving specialized medical care only available here in the U.S. She suffers from short bowel syndrome, a condition that restricts her from being able to take in and process nutrients on her own. So in order to save her daughter's life, Desi Vargas sought humanitarian parole and was eventually granted entry from Mexico to the U.S. in 2023, but everything changed last month. The family's attorneys say Sophia's mother received this notice from DHS that their humanitarian parole would be revoked and her parents' work permits canceled. The letter clearly stating right there, it is time for you to leave the United States. Well, Vargas spoke out in a press conference this week saying that doctors at Children's Hospital Los Angeles warned what could happen if their family is deported.
Los médicos de mi hija.
The doctors of my daughter has told us that they deport us and they remove my daughter from her specialized medical care. She will die.
Now, we did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security, and they tell us any reporting that Vargas and her family are actively being deported is false. This family applied for humanitarian parole on May 14th, 2025, and the application is still being considered. Joining me now, Sophia's attorney, Gina Amato. So, Gina, you agree with DHS that they're not actively being deported, but you do say that they've received notifications that their parole is being terminated and have been asked to self-deport. So what's going to happen to the Vargas family now?
Hi, Kira. Thanks so much for having me. And that's correct. So being actively deported is sort of a legal term of art. It means that you're either in removal proceedings or have been ordered removed. This family has received 3 notices canceling their status and revoking their work permits and demanding that they leave the United States. The notices also say that if they don't leave the United States, the government will look for them and will find them. So very threatening letters. The next step is really to try to move forward in this process of their renewed applications for humanitarian parole. We requested initially that the government reconsider its decision to terminate status and to reinstate it. We also filed new applications for humanitarian parole, which it appears that the government is now reviewing. So we will move through this process and hopefully the government will do the right thing and reinstate their status.
What legal rights does a child, a sick child like Sophia, have? And what does the Vargas family need right now to be able to stay here? Because it appears that humanitarian parole just isn't enough.
Well, I think humanitarian parole was enough. I mean, they applied for that protection from the government. The government granted it for a period of 2 years. It was initially valid through the end of July, but the government revoked it, excuse me, in April without notice and without reason. So they need continued humanitarian parole so that this child can continue with her specialized treatment that she's receiving from Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
And Children's Hospital Los Angeles declined to give us a comment. Do you think you need Sophia's doctors to actually speak out in order to strengthen your case?
Sophia's doctors have already spoken out in the form of a letter. They clearly outline her condition as well as the risks involved if her treatment is interrupted. The letter describes that the equipment that Sophia uses to intake nutrients intravenously may not leave the United States, that other patients, including Sophia, who are receiving this treatment may not leave the country, and that she will die within days if the treatment is interrupted. So they have been clear about the risks involved in this matter.
Every time we see her, and we were looking at it right there, the video of her, she has a smile on her face. She's interacting with everybody. I mean, she just looks like such a happy child. Does she even realize what's going on? And how is the whole family holding up right now?
Yeah, well, the whole family is so stressed and terrified. Because not only are they at risk of having to leave the United States, but the parents' work permits have been revoked. So they're not able to work lawfully in order to maintain a roof over their child's head, which is required because this child receives 14 hours a day of intravenous fluids and nutrition at home. So maintaining a sterile environment and a roof over her head is critical. But the little girl, she's only 4. She's absolutely adorable. It's wonderful to see her smile and play. I get the sense, as a mother of a young daughter, that she doesn't understand much. But, the family is just really trying to do the right thing. They're trying to follow the legal process and do things the right way so that they can continue providing life-saving care to their child.
Well, we want to definitely continue to follow her story. Gina, so glad you could join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.